What is going on, guys? The Inside the Boot podcast, and today we have our weekly picks. We're in week 14, and a lot of stuff happened. A lot of good games last week. Thanksgiving, the Giants losing, the Green Bay Packers on a tear right now, and they're taking on the Detroit Lions. And let's get right into these picks. We've been doing really well every week. We're still over 500. I got to do the calculations of what our actual record is, but if anyone in the comments wants to do that, you're more than welcome to. But getting into probably the best game, I'd say, of the week, at least one of them, it's the Green Bay Packers going into Detroit. And if I do know something about the Detroit Lions, is that they are a dog squad. Had a good game, but not a great game against the Chicago Bears. And the Chicago Bears, their record isn't good, but they've kept close games in the NFC North. The NFC North has been very fun to watch this year, and the Green Bay Packers are 9-3. They just beat up the Miami Dolphins last week in the cold, and the Detroit Lions are banged up on the defensive side. So, with that being said, I'm gonna take the Green Bay Packers this week over the Detroit Lions in a close game. I actually love this prediction. High scoring, highly anticipated. Both teams are really good. Both teams are really good, whether they're healthy or not. But getting into next week, the Jets, man, Aaron Rodgers, the experiment with the New York Jets, it's gone. I don't expect Aaron Rodgers to play for the New York Jets in 2025. If he does decide to remain to play, it's the Miami Dolphins all the way as long as Tua stays healthy. And Kirk Cousins, 6-6. The Buccaneers are 6-6. Are the Buccaneers about to take the division? I really do think they can. This Atlanta team has problems. Kirk Cousins just had his worst week. He is going into a revenge game against the Minnesota Vikings, and it won't matter because the Minnesota Vikings are a better football team than the Atlanta Falcons, and I think that defense with Brian Flores and his defense and all the turnovers that they can create, it's gonna be a long day for Kirk Cousins and maybe even more turnovers for the Atlanta Falcons. Getting into another week, probably one of our stinky games of the week. The New York Giants trying to protect the number one overall pick, trying to protect everything with their tank. We know the Raiders are 2-10. We know the Jacksonville Jaguars are 2-10. Teams are fighting for Shedeur Sanders or Travis Hunter if you're the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Giants are home. Dexter Lawrence is out. I don't know who on the Giants is going to be able to contain Alvin Kamara or any of this offense. And I know Taysom Hill is out, and he's usually a very vertical threat. Their Swiss Army knife. He's a big part of the team. But I don't like the Giants really in any of their games, and we've picked against them a lot this year. And I'm a fan. I'm a fan of the New York Giants, and to pick against them every week is frustrating. We don't really know what they're going to do. It's going to be a long off season for the New York Giants, and we'll see what goes on. But the Saints getting a win and moving to 5-8, Giants 2-11, and probably our lock of the week. I don't really think much is said after defeating the Baltimore Ravens, a very good football team. The Baltimore Ravens, they outplayed the Baltimore Ravens. Saquon Barkley is easily a top 3 candidate for the MVP, and probably he's definitely the offensive not rookie of the year. He's definitely the offensive player of the year. And with this Philadelphia team, they're really reminding me of that team that went to the Super Bowl, and they would just kill teams, and just destroy teams, embarrass you. And now they're taking on a Carolina Panthers team where Bryce Young has played better. He's done a good job in his last few weeks. They lost a tough game in overtime to the Buccaneers, but the Philadelphia Eagles are better in every single position. And also Saquon Barkley might rush for over 150 yards in the next game. In this game. Getting into our next slate, the Pittsburgh Steelers. In my opinion, they're one of my most surprising teams this year with a 9-3 record. Safe to say that Mike Tomlin is going to stay undefeated in being over 500 for the 18th consecutive year. The Browns are bad, but Jameis Winston's fun. Jameis Winston's a fun quarterback. He just threw for 497 yards against the Broncos defense that I think is pretty good, but not a good enough defense to win them a playoff game. And I kind of have that vibe with the Pittsburgh Steelers, but with their offense. Can this offense for the Pittsburgh Steelers win a playoff game? Like if they play Buffalo or they play like an LA Chargers, like a team like that who has a high-powered offense, defense is good, but like, I don't know. I don't really know with the Pittsburgh Steelers, but we're going to take them. And honestly, they have a good chance to win their division as well. They have a very good chance to win their division with the Baltimore Ravens as a good team as well, right behind them. But Las Vegas Raiders, like I said, the Giants, the Jaguars, and the Raiders do not want to win football games. They have no intentions to. And they might look somewhat competitive, like the Raiders looking somewhat competitive against the Kansas City Chiefs. But they're going to lose. And also, a lot of home teams I'm taking today. A lot of home teams because they're just a better team. That's what I've come to conclusion. If you're just, at this point in the season, if you're just the better football team, I'm probably taking you, right? And the thing is just a lot of these teams are really bad. A lot of these teams are just really bad this year. You got a lot of 2-10, 2-11 now if they lose, 3-10 teams. And it's going to be a race for the number one overall pick. I truly think it's going to come down to the Raiders or the Giants. But because I think the Jacksonville Jaguars have more pieces, especially offensively. But getting a Travis Hunter or Shedeur Sanders can help an offense tremendously. And or defense, if Travis Hunter does continue to play cornerback, it's going to be very hard for him to play as a dual threat. College, it's much different. The NFL is the NFL. Getting into another game, another divisional matchup. Tennessee Titans at 3-9. Jacksonville does not want to win. Right? If Jacksonville wins, their chances of getting Travis Hunter are very slim. And I mean, the Giants can still beat the Saints, but I don't think they're going to. Just because they have no offense. Either it's Tommy DeVito or Drew Lock throwing, or Tim Boyle. They're not winning another football game. And they're probably going to go 2-15. And one of the worst seasons for the New York Giants in a while. But I'm going to take the Tennessee Titans again. I'm going to take another home team. I think the Tennessee Titans are better. And I think Jacksonville, like I said before, they have no plans of winning. Now, they're not going to purposely lose, but they're going to find ways to make the game competitive and then make one or two blunders. And it's like, why would you run it on 3rd and 6? Or why would you not kick the extra point and go for 2? Like, stuff like that. But another team, another game that's very, very, very good is the Seattle Seahawks against the Arizona Cardinals. Arizona Cardinals have a very fun duo with Kyler Murray and Marvin Harrison Jr. And I like the Seattle Seahawks offense, but that offensive line was shaky against the Jets. They were allowing a lot of sacks. The Seattle Seahawks, honestly, if you look at it, pretty much got helped by the New York Jets. The New York Jets did themselves no favor. I know they're not trying to win games, but the New York Jets, the Breece Hall fumble, the constant penalties. I think they took 12 penalties and a half. Like, that can't happen for an NFL team. You cannot have 12 penalties and a half alone. But it's a very tough pick. Very, very tough pick. But, like I said, I want to keep the NFC West fun. Let's take the Arizona Cardinals. And quickly being said, the Buffalo Bills are a top dog. All right? They're the number 2 seed in the AFC West in a quote-unquote rebuilding year. The Buffalo Bills are very good. Like, they're 10-2, soon to be 11-2, as I do think they're going to defeat the LA Rams. Josh Allen is the MVP, and if it's not, it's Saquon Barkley. I love what Lamar is doing for the Baltimore Ravens, but I think Josh Allen has a more deserving case, right? If you take Josh Allen off that football team, I don't know if they're even sniffing 11 wins. At least if you take off Lamar Jackson, you have Derrick Henry. But Lamar is still a top 3 candidate to win the MVP. That's not a question in my opinion. It's just I think the most valuable. Which player is more valuable this year? The Bills who were in more of a rebuilding year, and they got rid of Stephon Diggs, and Matt Milano was hurt for a while, and they let go of Tre'Davious White, like stuff like that. And you come back and you have 11 wins, assuming you win against the LA Rams. I don't know. I think I like them. And you know something? I'm going to take a road dog. We haven't taken any dogs. I'm going to take the Chicago Bears to defeat the San Francisco 49ers. I've liked what Caleb Williams has done a lot in these past few weeks. Had a very strong week against the Detroit Lions, who have a solid defense. I know they're banged up, but it's still the Detroit Lions. Whether they're hurt or not, they're going to try and break your kneecaps, like Dan Campbell says. I like them a lot. I really do. And I like what Caleb Williams is doing. I like what that defense is bringing. And the San Francisco 49ers just lost CMC. Brock Purdy is hurt. George Kittle is good. He's very good, actually. He's not just good. Their offensive line is banged up with Trent Williams out. Deebo Samuel is not very good anymore. Brandon Ayuk, what is him? Like, so many injuries on this 49ers team. And I like the Bears in this one. I like the Bears more in this game. You could probably say it's an upset, but the 49ers are not going to make the playoffs. With eight losses, you just can't. I don't think you could really sneak into the playoffs. I really don't think you can. But getting into our final 2 weeks, LA Chargers are a good football team. They've won some good games, and the Kansas City Chiefs are 11-1. This is the matchup the Chargers want. They want to see how good Jim Harbaugh is a head coach. Now they're 8-4. They've done a lot of good things offensively. They fixed the running game. They fixed the defense. The offensive line looks phenomenal. Joe Alt looks phenomenal. Their draft pick from this previous draft class. Do I take 2 dogs in a row? Or do I be the safer option and take Patrick Mahomes? We're going to take Patrick Mahomes. I'm going to take it safe. I think the Kansas City Chiefs and everything that's going on, I think it's going to be a very close game. I like the 27-23 final. It's going to be back and forth. Justin Herbert's an elite quarterback. I'll say it right now. He's elite. I think he's elite. Now you just gave him good weapons, a good head coach, and look what 2 and 2 can do together with Justin Herbert. Getting into the final game, Monday Night Football. In Jerry's world, the Dallas Cowboys are 5-7. The Cincinnati Bengals, if you looked at Joe Burrow's season, you'd think they're 9-3 going into this week, or they're 10 like some really good record, like they're about to win their division. No, they're looking at a top 10, top 15 draft pick. Not Justin Herbert. Joe Burrow's great season is wasted. Jamar Chase's great season is wasted. And I'd be surprised if we see Zach Taylor with the headset as a head coach for the Cincinnati Bengals. Sorry, my mic cut out there. I'd be very shocked if Zach Taylor was back. I think there's a lot of good options. There's a lot of teams that need a new head coach. And maybe I'll make a video of that, of like top MVP candidates. If you guys want to see that, smash that like button and I'll make it happen. I'll definitely bring more out-of-league content. I know I'm primarily a Giants content creator and I mainly talk about my favorite football team. But anyways, let's get back to the pick. We're going to take Joe Burrow. I think Dallas is not good enough. But I also think Cincinnati has more of a firepower in that offense. And Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase might cook up this secondary. Right? I think the Dallas defense with Micah Parsons has been better They beat the Giants previously, and they just beat Washington as well. So, and now they take on a Cincinnati team that I think has a good offense, bad defense. But I look at this Dallas offense and Cooper Rush / Trey Lance. I know they got CeeDee Lamb and Rico Dowdle, but that's about it. Brandon Cooks is all right. Jonathan Turpin, is that his name? He's all right. But anyways, guys, just to recap the picks. So, Green Bay defeating the Detroit Lions, Miami winning, Minnesota winning, the Saints winning, Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, Tampa Bay, Tennessee, Arizona. 5 straight home squads getting it done at home. And then we get a little bit of some away teams getting it done with the Buffalo Bills. A great team under Josh Allen. Sean McVay is a great coach, and I think he'll keep this game close. He's a great coach, and he'll keep it close. Wow, that's a tongue twister. Chicago, I think, can upset the San Francisco 49ers. I like Caleb's game recently. I think with the new, no more Matt Eberflus. Eberclown, whatever you want to call him. He's gone. Chicago could finally say maybe things can turn in the right direction at the end of the year and win a few games. I think they can. Usually when I see a head coach fired, there's just a fire in players' bodies, like a new juice. Whether it's Thomas Brown, I think who's the interim coach, I think he could really get these guys going, and they can go into San Fran and win a football game. This game against the Kansas City Chiefs and the Chargers, I think is going to be close. Patrick Mahomes is going to need to be good. The defense is going to need to be in Justin Herbert's face. And in Jerry's world, the Dallas Cowboys are not a good football team. I know they beat Washington, but I think Washington still has flaws. And I know a few weeks ago I had them in the Super Bowl contender. That ship has sailed. And the Cincinnati Bengals just need to win a football game. The football gods just need to let them have a game. That's where I see it. But anyways, guys, that's our Week 14 picks. Only a few more weeks, and then you guys get to see my Super Bowl prediction. But I think with how you guys have seen me talk about some of these football teams, I think you might know my prediction already. But that's going to do it, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good one. Peace.